All right, hello. I'm Otis Landerholm. I'm the founding attorney here at Landerholm Immigration, A.P.C, where we fight for your American dream. And thank you so much for being with me today. Today, I want to answer the question, hey, what do I do if my case is way outside of normal processing times? What do I do if my immigration case is just taking forever? All right. And unfortunately, this is the world. It's like, welcome to the world that we're living in, right? Lots of immigration processes are taking way longer than they ever used to. All right. And whether that's politics or whether that's coronavirus or whether it's influx of applications or a decrease of officers reviewing them or a combination of all of that, you know, who's to say? But I'm not here to answer that question. I'm answering to say, okay, what can we do about it? What are our options? What can we really do? All right. Well, so the first step to get to the bottom of it is to verify and to really make sure that your case really is outside of quote unquote normal processing times. And so how do you do that? I want to share my screen real quick and I'll just show you straight on the website. All right. Not that. Okay. So this is, I'll move it over here. Okay. Hopefully you can see my website here. This is uscis.gov. In fact, I'll get there the other way, the main way. All right. So when you just go to uscis.gov and hit enter, I'll make my talking face a little bit bigger here so you can see me also. But what you do is you go down to manage your case right on the home page, and you click this where it says check your case status, or you could say check processing times. I think that's the one that I typically go to. Check processing times. And so if I'm going to go, say somebody filed for citizenship, application for naturalization, all right? And I'll put in the San Francisco field office because that's where we are. That's where I am, rather. And I'll say get processing times. And here it'll say estimated 12.5 months to 17.5 months. And if I go down, it'll say receipt date for case inquiry, March 28th, 2019. All right. And so now you know, if your case, if you look on your receipt notice in your case, all right, if your case was submitted before March 28th of 2019, your case really is outside of normal processing times. All right. But if your case was submitted, on March, on March 31st of 2019, or on April of 2019, or, in September 2019, and here I'm filming this at September of 2020, and you still don't have an interview, well, you're still within normal processing times. And so that's why, the process just is slower than it used to be. So always start by verifying, look at your form type. All right, maybe it's an application for adjustment of status, which is an I-485, and you can choose your local office for an I-485. San Francisco says 35.5 months. Always use the longer of the range, and they're saying for family-based adjustment applications, don't submit an inquiry unless your case was submitted before September 29th, 2017. All right, and so. So really check that before submitting your inquiry or before going on to next steps. So the first step, if your case has been pending a long time, is to check, is it really outside of normal processing times? All right, sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. If it is, and only if it is, then go on to the next part of the process. So then it's sort of like, what can you do about it? And let's see here, I'm going to delete that. The next thing to do is to go in and to do an inquiry, all right? And so within USCIS, you have the option to submit a case inquiry. Let me show you how to get there. Manage your case, case processing times, inquire about a case outside of normal processing times. Does everybody see that? If you click that button, that's how you get to this page that says outside of normal processing times, what you'll need, all of this stuff, and then you start putting in your information, and you can submit an actual inquiry to the government and explain that, hey, my case is outside of normal processing times. Please help me to figure it out, and please get my case back on track. All right. So you fill out this form, you put the type of form that it is. You know, your lawyer can help you with this also. All right. So step one is to check that you really are outside of normal processing times. If you are outside of normal processing times, step two is to do an inquiry. The inquiry is right here. All right. And you fill out all of this information with your receipt number and the date you filed your case and what type of form it was and your name and your date of birth and your A number and mailing address and all of this stuff and what was the last action taken on your case. Then once you do that, typically you'll get a response, and your response will say, hey, thank you for your inquiry. Please wait for a decision or for some kind of an answer from your inquiry within 60 days. All right. After those 60 days go by, what I recommend is you submit another one. And right here on this page, you submit another one, and you have proof of it and you have documentation. All right. So you're keeping the evidence of it. And then if that doesn't produce the response, what I like to do is I like to take it one level up. Oops. And one level up is what I do, and what our office does is we go to something called the Citizenship and Immigration Services Ombudsman. All right. And this was created in the Homeland Security Act of 2002. I guess it says it even right here on this page. It says the Ombudsman is an impartial and a confidential resource that is independent of USCIS. So what is an ombudsman? It's basically this independent watchdog, and we can submit a request to them and they can enter USCIS and say, hey, what the heck? All right. And so this is, you know, a tool that immigration lawyers can use to ask a different agency to go inside of USCIS and let's issue a decision on this case, because it really is way outside of processing times and 2 inquiries didn't work. So here we click on case assistance. All right. And yes, they're always going to ask for us to request and do the inquiries with USCIS first. So we've got to even show that. All right. Which is why we do the 2 inquiries. All right. And then we click here, submit a request. And we do it on the electronic form DHS 7001. And if you click here, and if you look on this form, you know, it's a long form, and you do it right on the internet, and they ask for your name and your information and where you're from and what type of petition you have, and the person's preparing the form and submitted documentation. You got to upload your other inquiries and things like that. There's a lot of things to do on this page to get to submit your request that the ombudsman go in and take over and look at why and ask USCIS why this is so outside of normal processing times. All right. And that's the way to do it. Then if this still doesn't work, then, you know, you can call your congressperson. You can sue immigration with what we call a mandamus action. There are other things that can be done. All right. So, but typically the inquiries and the ombudsman requests will resolve, you know, 80%, I'll say, of cases. It doesn't resolve it 100%, but yeah. So thank you so much for watching this. I hope this was useful. I wanted to kind of introduce a little bit the USCIS ombudsman request. There are immigration lawyers out there that don't even know about the USCIS ombudsman office. And so just be on the lookout for that. It is a tool, and your lawyer can use it to help stimulate action in your case if your case really is outside of normal processing times. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to contact my office. If this was helpful, please subscribe to our channel and like this video. And yeah, I wish you the very, very best with your immigration process. I'm Otis Landerholm. I'm the founding attorney here at Landerholm Immigration, A.P.C, where we fight for your American dream. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.